Hey Goss, welcome back to the YouTube channel. So today we are going to be making a black bean chili with quinoa. So in order to recreate this recipe, you need some quinoa, you need tomato sauce, garlic powder, onion powder. I get black beans in a can. You don't have to. You can get the raw black beans and cook them, but I don't want to have to cook the beans before I make this recipe. Grapeseed oil. Again, you don't have to use grapeseed. You can use olive oil, but I'm beginning to use grapeseed oil, so I'm going to stick with that. Minced garlic, salt, pepper, some crushed red pepper. Again, you can get the fresh one. This is just to add a little spice. And then lastly, cumin powder. And then for our fresh vegetables, we're using orange peppers, red peppers, and a yellow onion. You can use whatever peppers you like. It doesn't have to be orange or red. You can use green, but the peppers are just giving it color, okay? So you're gonna need to do 2 pots, one to cook your quinoa, and then one to put all the ingredients to make the chili. The last thing I also put, which is close to the end when the dish is done, is a can of corn, okay? And that just gives it a little crunch. For my recipe, I'm not going to put a lot of crushed pepper because we don't really like spice. And this, a little goes a long way. Alright, so I have 2 red peppers and 1 orange pepper, so I'm just cutting it up. And then I'm gonna dice it up. Okay, so before I continue chopping this up, I'm going to start the quinoa. So for every 2 cups of water of quinoa, you need 1 cup of quinoa. So 2 parts water for every 1 cup of grain that you put in. For this dish, I'm using quinoa. You don't have to use quinoa. You can use lentil beans. You can use pretty much whatever grain you want. You can use bulgur. You can use whatever grain, but I like the quinoa. It's a light grain. This is going to add protein to the dish. So I'm going to add a little bit of grapeseed oil into this. Okay, so once it's to a boil, you're going to reduce the heat and cover it and let it simmer. Once the water is evaporated, it's all set. Alright, so I'm going to continue cutting my peppers. You can cut your peppers as big or small as you like them. Now I am done chopping up the peppers and the onion. Alright, so again, like I've shown you guys in my previous videos, I use grapeseed oil. Okay? So, like I said, I don't really measure. I just make sure the bottom of the pan is covered. Then, you're gonna let that heat up. While that's heating up, I'm gonna get my minced garlic. Okay? And I'm gonna place that in. You know what? I like garlic. I'm feeling good today. Let's add another one in there. Okay. So 3 spoonfuls. I'm just using a plastic spoon, so whatever works for you. I'm then going to put my onion in. Okay, so you want to put the onion in. Alright. And then I'm going to add all my spices into it right now. So I'm going to have my onion powder, my garlic powder. Let's start with that. Like I said to you guys, I don't really measure, but if I could measure, I'd probably say it's about a tablespoon of everything. So a tablespoon of garlic, a tablespoon of onion powder. Okay. A half a tablespoon of cumin powder. Okay. You don't want as much of that. Same thing with the pepper, half a tablespoon. Okay. A dash of salt just to enhance the flavor. And then, again, my vegan chili is going to be mild. So I'm not going to add a lot of this. So again, just a dash of red pepper flakes, because if not, your mouth's gonna be on fire. Okay. So I'm gonna get a spoon and I'm gonna mix that up. Okay, so I'm just gonna mix this around. My heat is on medium-high heat. And you just want this to cook down a little bit until the onions are a little bit translucent. Okay? So, I guess, layman's term, like they're a little shiny. So, just want to mix this, stir this down. Okay? So it's all your spices in there. It's like your base. Alright. Next, I'm gonna put in the peppers. Okay? Peppers in. I'm gonna stir that around. And then you're probably gonna notice that the oil is gonna be soaked up by all of this stuff, and the pan is going to need some sort of liquid or something to help with the moisture. So then now I'm gonna add in my tomato paste. Okay. Alright, so you're gonna stir this around for like a minute or so. And now you're gonna add in the black beans. This is a 29 ounce bottle or container. You don't have to use all these beans. We like beans, so that's why I'm using a big one. I'll show you guys another one I have, which would suffice. So you could use this 15.5 ounce if you don't want a lot of beans. But we do, so I'm using the whole thing, a bigger one. Okay, so just gonna pour the beans in there. Again, if you wanna get dry beans and then cook them yourself, you can do that, but this does the job for me. Okay, so I'm gonna let that boil, come to a boil, and I'm gonna check on my quinoa. So you just get a fork, take the top off, check your quinoa, kind of fluff it up a little bit. You see that there's no moisture in there, it's done. Now, if you were gonna cook quinoa without this chili, you could add like garlic to it, you could add peppers to it, you could add whatever you want to flavor the quinoa, because right now it's plain. It's just a plain grain, but when I add it to the dish, it's gonna just be a protein, so it's gonna get all the flavors from the chili. But otherwise, you could add stuff to it to flavor it. Now that we have everything in there, we're gonna let this simmer. So you, again, lower your heat, cover it with the top, Again, we're gonna let it simmer for about 20 minutes. At the 15-minute mark, we're gonna put the quinoa in, and we're gonna put in the can of corn. And then let it cook for 5 more minutes, and then we're done. Okay, so we'll be back once we are at that stage. Okay, so we're gonna check in on our black bean chili. It's just about done, so that means it's time to add in our quinoa and our can of corn. Okay, you can use any corn you like, whatever you like to use, that's what you use. So if you look at our black bean chili, you've noticed that there's some liquid in here, right? So I didn't say it before, but since I used tomato paste, it made it a little more juicy, and since I used the beans in a can, it had its own water in it. So if you're not going to be using those things that have liquid, you're going to need to add a cup of water, and you're going to kind of need to monitor it. So like say if you was cooking it in a crock pot, then you're going to need to add some water to it because it's going to eventually evaporate. But since I didn't use those type of beans, and since I use tomato paste, I didn't have to add water. If I add water, it's just going to make it even more watery. So this is good. Now once I add the quinoa, it's going to soak up some of the moisture as well. So for the water, adding water to this dish, you want to just kind of eye it out. Okay, so I'll show you guys in a minute. So I'm just trying to get all the quinoa in there. Okay. Get this in here. Alright. So, got the quinoa. Like if you were to eat this now, like I said, it's plain. So all I'm doing is stirring it in there.
Like you just put cake back.
Okay. And this quinoa is absorbing some of the moisture too. Okay. Now, for my corn, I'm gonna add that in. Okay, so 1 can. All right. Stir that all in. And you see all the different colors we have going on here? It's like vibrant. Okay. So now let's stir it all in. Put the top back on. 5 more minutes. And then we'll show you the finished product. Stay tuned. Okay, so finished product. We're all ready. Here we go. Black bean chili. Vegan. Okay. You want more?
Yeah.
So I don't know if some of you know or not, but Sanaya is behind the camera today. She's the one who's taking all the footage. Comment down below, how well do you think she did today? Recording me. First time. Alright. So I'm gonna take over now, so she can try the dish. So let's just zoom in on what we're working with here. Hold on, let me get the camera right, guys. Alright, so she has black bean chili and garlic bread. Alright. Make sure you blow it before you eat it. Okay?
That's what you told me last time.
Well, it only makes sense.
I only tried some of them.
Okay, it's gonna be hot, so you gotta blow it and try it. Okay, so
It's good.
Okay.
There's like, you know the spice you put in it?
Yeah.
I don't taste it at all.
Okay. That's good. If you tasted it, your mouth would be burning right now. You'd be asking for some water.
You wanna try it? Why? No. Try it. Try a little bit. No.
Because he doesn't like how it looks.
No. It's good. No.
Okay. Alright, so that's it, guys. Vegan black bean chili with quinoa.
What am I gonna eat?
Comment down below.
That.
How do you think it turned out? Do you think you're gonna try it? You gonna try it, Sam?
Yeah.
Alright. Well, you have to blow it before you try it because you'll burn your mouth.
Wanna try a little bit?
Alright. He's playing games. Wanna take us out?
No! Before we end this video, make sure you like, subscribe, turn on post notification bells so you get notified. No. Have fun, be original, and never quit.